Oh, welcome to another episode of James Plays Nuclear Throne, where we are again trying to get Frog. I don't know why I hesitated on that. It's an achievement. It's a thing in the game. Oh, we got this from last time. It's an achievement. It's a character that we can unlock, a secret character. And I think we're going to try as Fish this time. We've been doing Horror the past 2 times because I think that he's really good for looping, but we didn't loop, so I guess that's kind of makes that moot, I guess. Also, Fish is fun, and I love his bee skin. I love just playing as Fish so I could see his bee skin. So again, in case you didn't tune in last time, or if you did and forgot, in which case, like, it seems pretty serious. You might want to see something about that. Amnesia is no joke. Then we are trying to get Frog, and to do so, we need to defeat Ball Mom with a golden weapon. That's the part that we need to get done today, anyways. That's the hard part, anyways. There's a couple other steps. It's one of the most complicated things I've tried to unlock. We're not going to take Laser Brain because we have to keep this crossbow the whole time, which seems like those two things wouldn't be connected, but in my mind they are. So just roll with it here, folks. So yes, it's one of the most complicated things I think I've tried to get before, or ever, if that sentence makes sense, I hope. Can I, yeah, there we go. But, I think it'll be fun. It's fun, you know, fun for the kids, fun for the whole family. We're gonna get this, we're gonna go in there, we're gonna loop, and we're gonna get the Ball Mom, and we're gonna do the do, and yeah. I say do the do a lot. I don't say it. I try not to say it in my videos, so that I'm not a like walking, talking advertisement for Mountain Dew, which, by the way, I've never actually had. I profess to hate it because I mean it's popular to hate it, right? Or it's popular to hate Call of Duty, anyways. And they're closely linked. But yeah, we'll take both of those. Hang on, gotta take my watch off because it's itchy. Okay. Now I'm good, I promise. I try not to say it, but I say it a lot with my friends as like a... I don't know what, like, how I would describe what part of conversation I use that phrase in, but it's like, alright, time to do the do. It's like when I'm like, are you ready to go? Or are we gonna do this thing? Or like, let's get to it. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Making the same reference 2 episodes in a row. Aren't I good? The reference, by the way, is from Disney's Mulan. There's a song they sing about defeating the Huns. Available on DVD and Blu-ray from Disney Vault. What? I'm not a walking, talking advertisement. I don't even know if it's available on DVD and Blu-ray. I'd imagine that it is. Like, I hope so. Because that would be kind of upsetting if they just like, yeah, no one can watch this movie anymore. Decided, like, Disney executives had a meeting. They're like, so do we want anyone to be able to watch this movie? No? No? Okay, I think we're good. All right. Good meeting, guys. That's what I imagine Disney, you know, board meetings are like. And they have the frozen, like, head of Walt Disney in a jar, like in Futurama. Except it's still frozen because he's still frozen. You know, Walt Disney had himself frozen, like, cryogenically, so that he could come back to life in the future, presumably. He's probably, like, in the future they're going to be like, oh, if only they froze him this way instead of that way, or, you know, whatever. Then we would have been able to save him, but instead he's just a dead person that's been frozen. Or maybe they'll resurrect his brain and hook it up to a computer so you can talk to Walt Disney. Which one of these do I really want? Oh, wow. That was efficient. Ammo! And then they're gonna realize he lived in, like, you know, the 50s and 60s and was, like, an old white guy. They're like, oh, wow. This guy's actually kind of, like, antiquated. That's the one thing with Captain America that gets me. Like, how come Captain America has just adjusted perfectly well to, like, the president being black, and I mean, I'm sure he wasn't like a crazy dude. But, like, normal people, or quote-unquote normal people, in the 50s were pretty racist. Like, even if he was, like, considered to be a pretty liberal guy, and he didn't strike me... Why did I get hit there? And he didn't strike me as a super liberal guy. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was very forward-thinking. Yeah, I don't want any of those weapons. He was very kind of forward-thinking, liberal, and, you know... But even still... well, Nick Fury, you know, Samuel Jackson's character... Like, the commander of his team being a black guy. You think, like, I'd imagine they probably had a conversation with him as soon as they woke him up. They were like, hey, welcome to the future. By the way, couple tips here. Your boss. Can't call him what you called him back then. Things have changed. Also, women are equal, mostly. That's a thing. You know, we're still working on it, but we're like most of the way there. So, if you want to not be hated by everyone, you should probably not be a douche to women. What else? You know, oh yeah, don't say kraut. Does not go over well. Jap. Oh, yeah, no, not that one. We're friends with them again. We did some unspeakable things to a couple of cities. Yeah, try not to talk about it. It's a dark time in our collective human history. I wonder how much, I mean, like, he was busy fighting Hydra while the rest of the war was going on. But he had to know that, like, we won, right? I mean, at the point that the war was, I'm trying to remember that first movie. Because he was flying the airplane into the Arctic so that people wouldn't, it was a really, like, dumb sort of thing. Like, you couldn't have landed it somewhere, or jumped out, or, like, told them where you were going to crash it. And furthermore, here's a question. World War II was, like, a long time ago. But it wasn't like World War I. Like, there are still people alive who served. God, let's not get hit by that. I'd imagine somebody he served with, aside from his cyborg brother. I was especially dumb. Of all the people to turn into a cyborg, it happens to be the one guy who falls off a train. If you don't remember, his brother Bucky... Spoiler alert for, like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I should have said that earlier. His brother Bucky falls off a train, like, a long way down. Like, essentially falls off a mountain into a ravine. And he's like, oh no, he's dead. And for the rest of the movie, it's just like, oh yeah, he's dead. And then in the next Captain America movie, I can't remember if it's the next one or one of the later ones. It's like, oh, yeah, that guy you've been fighting this whole time, psych, it's your brother Bucky. And then it's like, he finds out, oh yeah, we found him and decided to turn him into a cyborg and convince him to fight for us. What? Why? Why? Why would you... Like, let's say you're Hydra, and you find this guy who's your mortal enemy. Like, half dead at the bottom of it. Like, let's say, suspending, like, the absurd briefly, let's say he survives, and is, like, it's able to be recovered to full health. Why wouldn't you just capture him and use him as a prisoner of war and be like, hey, Captain, haha, we have your brother, we're evil, nah. Like, that's, like, still, like, you know, comic book villainy, but, you know, plausible. And if you want to transform some guy into a badass cyborg super soldier, why wouldn't you use one of your own guys so you don't have to brainwash them? Sorry, I gotta stop talking about Captain America here. I haven't seen the new movie, by the way, the Civil War. I think it came out yesterday at the time of recording. I've gotten better at fighting Little Hunter, I've noticed. He's less of a, you know, blocker for a run. Haven't seen the new movie. Okay, but let's back to my point. Why wouldn't you just use one of your own guys? Like, you know, the super Nazis that Sieg Heil with 2 arms instead of 1 because they're doubly evil. Not even kidding. Like they've got like a whole army of them, like a lot of dudes that are really, really into this whole Hydra thing. Even people in the future, it's like, you know, but in the second Captain America movie, it's like, oh yeah, you know, we're American politicians, but we're, you know, Hail Hydra in each other's ears, which was kind of funny. I'm not going to complain too much about that. You do not have a shortage of manpower. Oh, we have Gamma Guns. I forgot about that. Can't run into those guys, though. I'm just baffled as to why they had to use his brother. I think it was like a good friend, like a you're like a brother to me, sort of, like, you know. Can't remember if they were actually brothers, but as far as we're concerned, they were brothers. That's one of the more stupid things. Well, not stupid, but kind of just like head-scratchery things about the movie. I don't think you could really say things are stupid in a movie, because it's a movie. But at the same time, you can kind of go point out things about it, be like, hey, hang on, wait a minute. Hold up here just a darn second. Just a root tootin' minute or two. That's what you'd say to the executives, the film executives. You go strumpet yourself into their office, and by strumpet I mean like march, but like putting your legs forward majestically. Just, yeah, march in their office and be like, hold on just a root tootin' second. And then they'd be like, yeah, we didn't write the movie. Go talk to like Joss Whedon or whoever wrote the movie. Then you'd march into his office. Be like, yeah, well, your concerns are extremely valid. No, that's... Probably I should have paid attention at that part. It's been 12 minutes, we're going to do that. So you march into Joss Whedon's office, if he has an office. He's like, yeah, no, you're totally right. But I made $12 million, so I don't really care. I feel like that's probably how the conversation would go down. Another thing. In the Avengers, I don't know if you've seen it, what was the objective of the aliens invading? Like, they did not have enough aliens to take over the world. Like, yeah, the Avengers are pretty kick-ass, but, you know. Like, let's say the Avengers weren't there. Alright, so they've taken over New York City. And also, let's say that the U.S. or the governments of the world decide not to drop a nuclear bomb on New York. That's a whole nother conversation we need to have. What was really the objective of Loki and the aliens? Like, alright, so you've taken over New York. Now, like, the US has shown up with 100 fighter jets, blown up all your guys with, like, really powerful missiles, because they have those. Like, I mean, if you've seen the movie, you can agree with me, there were not enough people. Like, all of the aliens we saw, that was, okay, you know, enough to take over New York, yes. Especially with the, you know, half-assed National Guard. You know, all respect to the National Guard, but there was like, what, a half a dozen of them, maybe, that showed up? Pardon me, I'm just shooting these guys real quick. Like, it would not take long for a lot of military dudes and personnel and you know, and women as well. Captain America, we have to tell you, women are equal. And fighter jets and, like, stealth bombers and, you know. And why? Okay, so they have a nuclear missile that they shot at New York. Why wouldn't they just shoot it through the portal? Like, they've got to know the aliens are coming through the portal. Right? Like, I can understand, like, the fog of war, like, you're not quite sure what's going on, there's just aliens appearing in New York. But at some point, like, instead of, you know, Nick Fury taking a rocket launcher out onto the deck of his aircraft carrier and trying to shoot down the airplane, and, you know, Robert Downey Jr. heroically, like, guiding the missile into space and falling back and going for shawarma, why didn't Nick Fury, you know, Captain America be like, hey, things are bad, they're all coming through a portal, and Nick Fury's like, a portal, you say? And then he goes to the counselor like, yeah, we're going to launch a nuclear bomb. Nick Fury says, hey, point it upwards through the portal. They're like, yeah, okay, sure, we'll do that so that, like, 12 million people don't die from friendly fire, because that's a pretty reasonable request. And then Iron Man's like, oh, you're gonna send it through the portal? Cool, I don't have to do anything. Nick Fury's like, alright, I don't have to shoot down a plane, one of my own planes, to save New York City. And then the aliens get exploded, and it's all happy. And Robert Downey Jr. doesn't have to spend an entire movie getting PTSD flashbacks. That's not a diss at people who have PTSD, that's a diss at people who wrote that movie. Why can I not go through here? To go. Ah. Come on. Alright. What other movie can I complain about? Let me see. Star Trek? Nope. Star Trek's perfect. There are literally 0 problems with Star Trek. Next movie to complain about. Ooh, I like this. I mean, I could talk about Star Wars, but I'd just spend the entire time on the prequels, not really accomplishing anything for anyone involved. Oh, is he gonna blow up that car? Yeah. You just blow up that car you're standing in front of. You can say a lot of things about these enemies in this game. They're not very smart. Like, they blow themselves up on a regular basis. I can't take the... Gotta kick the crossbow. Probably the biggest challenge for what I'm trying to do right now is that I have to keep the golden crossbow. Now, as far as golden weapons go, it's not a bad one to have to keep. But still, it's makes things difficult. Yeah, we'll take this. We haven't been running into ammo problems, so I'm not inclined to take any ammo mutations. Alright. Come on. There we go. That was efficient, except for the part where I took a bunch of damage. Screwdriver, great weapon to drop here. Angry noises. That is one of the most like frustrating ways to have missed a chest in this entire freaking game. Of course, we can't get hit at all now. And no health kits are gonna drop because why would they? Why? I don't need health kits. Why would a health kits drop? Okay. Maybe if I complain about things enough, they'll change. I think that's a pretty good motto for humanity. Maybe if we complain enough, things will get better. Without us doing any actual work. That seems to be like a common theme for the modern Western person. And don't think you're getting off easy, non-Western people. It's just, you know, more prevalent in Western people. Meaning, people where I live. That vague area known as the West. Yeah. We'll just decide later. It's that vague region of the world that no one really agrees on where or what it is. It's just kind of the West. I had a guy try and convince me that Japan was in the West, and I'm like, isn't that kind of about as far east as you can get? He said, no, they have, like, you know, computers and stuff. That was an interesting conversation. I know they're really far east, but they have computers. You know they have computers in Africa, too. No, but they've got, like, a lot of computers. Like, they make computers and stuff. No. So because they make computers, they're in the West. This is what's called a straw man argument, by the way. This person doesn't actually exist, except in my mind to validate my argument. Yo, that energy sword though. Yo, but the energy sword. But yo. Alright, I'm done. Alright, well this changes things. I don't know what that's from either, but I know it's from a thing. Sure. If I get shot, anytime that I do the IDPD chest and don't get shot, it's like, yeah, I should do this every time. It's amazing. I just get tons of free ammo. And then every time I do it and, like, get shot, even a little bit shot, whatever that means, I'm like, why would I ever do that? That's so dumb. Why would I ever make that decision? So that's how I think, mainly. Yeah, here we go. Oh, this is a little hunter, isn't it? It is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to do that thing where I take a weapon, but don't take a weapon, because I'll just pick that up later. Oh, that was effective. Alright. So I think I'm going to try and get some mutations that are really tailored for the laser sword. And it's just now the laser sword. That's just what I'm calling it now. Like, if you have a problem with that, I can't imagine that you would. Like, I can't imagine that anyone would get legitimately upset at me using the incorrect, and not even like I'm calling it like a pencil. It's like a, you know, or like a frindle. You know, it's reasonably possible that this weapon could be called a laser sword. But as I was saying, if anyone gets really upset at that, then I do have to apologize. But I'm not, like, changing, yes, the words I use for it. My favorite thing is when those chests, like, are right next to the portal, and then you get, and they open, and you get the, like, ammo for your weapon, when normally you wouldn't get ammo for your weapon. It's actually kind of too hard to explain if you didn't get it from that, and I am amazed if you did, so I'm just going to stop on that tangent. What was I saying? Yes, the laser sword. That's just what it's called for. I've given up. I really, to my credit, I really tried to use the proper name, energy sword. But laser sword just rolls off the tongue. Laser sword. Like, I'd expect a waiter to come up and be like, yes, sir, would you, here's your meal. Would you like some laser sword with that? Like at a fancy French restaurant. Like, I can't see a waiter being like, just, some energy swords, That's what waiters sound like in my fairy tale imagination land. I can't, like, I've become so automatic with picking mutations that I can't even remember if long arms was one of the choices that I should have taken. For the throne, what I'm going to do is basically cross my fingers and hope that the weapon that spawns in the chest on the throne fight is good. Then what I'll do is I'll pick that up, that weapon up, and use it, and then pick the golden crossbow up, like, after I beat the throne. The crossbow still has its uses. Mainly, you know, when I start running out of ammo. But it's not even close to an effective weapon here. Yeah, I knew it. I didn't. I was just, I had no idea that was a mimic, and I would have walked into it. Except for that I had to make sure I had the right weapon equipped so I get the right ammo. And then it licked its lips, and I'm like, hey, I knew the whole time. Because I'm so smart. SMRT. Oh yeah, baby. Extra feet. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that, and then this, and then we'll just pick up the golden crossbow, when we, you know, kill the throne, and all that, and we do the do. Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew Code Red. Apparently Mountain Dew Code Red is, like, really acidic or something. Or, like, there's something about Mountain Dew Code Red, and I don't mean that in a there's something about you way. I mean that, like, you know, like, I've never had it. Like I said, I've never had the Call of Duty drink. But I've heard there's like Mountain Dew that apparently, like, dissolves mice. And then there's Mountain Dew Code Red, which is even more Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. You. I will address all of these inanimate objects personally by calling them you and you. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about with the Mountain Dew melting a mess, I think it's Mountain Dew. It's got to be Mountain Dew. There was a guy who sued Mountain Dew because he found a mouse in the bottle of Mountain Dew. And so Mountain Dew's lawyers, Mountain Dew Co. was like, yeah, this isn't true, but we can't really prove it. So what they did is they did an experiment where they put a mouse in Mountain Dew. I don't know why I said it that way. Especially because it's not called that. They put a mouse in a bottle of Mountain Dew or a can or like a jar or something, and it completely dissolved. And they determined before the court that there's no way he could have found a mouse in the Mountain Dew because it would have completely dissolved by the time he would have gotten, it would have, like, gotten into his hands, like, from, you know, delivery and, like, shipping and, you know, or manufacturing and all that stuff. And so his case was thrown out of court. That's a true story, by the way. Oh, yes. Why did I take so much damage there? Oh, by the way, I can't touch this guy, so... Come on, health kit, thank you. Oh, yes, I'm also super glad that I took that mutation, second stomach. Because these just become worth so much more. Still can't touch him. This one I knew that if I touched him I would die. The main nuclear throne, I did not know this, but if you touch it, you die. It's like an insta-kill thing, like touching the diamond crystals in the crystal caverns. Wow, I'm kind of impressed that I did not get hit there. Like, impressed with myself there. Why are these not dropping anything? Like, I feel like they should be dropping stuff. Oh, I'm gonna... Yep. Ah, damn it! Well, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Starting a new series soon. You should see that up. And again, I'm recording these in bulk. So, these will go up over the next 3 days. This is the last one. Today is Thursday, so this will go up on Saturday. And then I'll record some more. And then I'll probably do a bulk recording when right before Stellaris comes out, because I'll be busy playing that for a while. But thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. We will get this thing. I promise.